How is everyone doing on this beautiful Tuesday morning? Hot Tuesday morning, but beautiful nonetheless. Hope everyone is doing great. Getting your day started exactly how you want to. Whatever that might entail. I'm actually busy at the moment. I decided I needed to put something in the air. So I am taking care of that, kind of. I'm attempting to take care of that. Let's see here. Good morning, Mr. Nick. Mr. I believe Mr. Paul Mills was next. Where is it? Yeah. Morning, Mr. Paul Mills. And then good morning, Mr. Wanna Know Why Knives. Then good morning, Mr. Audio-itis. Mr. B Shady. Mr. TC. Mr. Pete. Mr. Cliff. And I think that catches us up. Yep. In the air this morning. Well, I guess it's technically night for me as well. Stab that like button. Y'all smash it. Morning, Sever 7. How is everybody today? I hope everybody is great. I decided to take a little bit from Mr. B Shady yesterday. Follow his lead. And I had a Mac Monday. I had my newly repaired Dixon, my front pocket. Dixon, the front pocket. And let's see. In the back pocket, I had my Mac 2. So it was a Mac Monday, and I did not carry my Sage 5 or my Lemifshi Nirvana. That might surprise some of you. Good morning, Brown Sugar. And I also had a Mac with a side of cheese. I had that in my back left pocket. And once again, the camera looks a little light for some reason, but if I adjust the image exposure up, wash it out, and then go back down, it'll look like it's supposed to. Mr. Pete, you posted your carry in today's Pocket Check Discord? Nice. We will check that out momentarily. Oh, yeah. You got your new knife yesterday, huh? Your headbanger or whatever it is? How do you like it? Today's a purple day. Nothing wrong with purple. You really like the headbanger? Well, that's cool. I'm glad you got you a knife you like. I like the way he wrote the name of it on there. It reminds me of Headbanger's Ball. Morning, Scott Bryant. So last night, I literally watched the entire live and went through the entire chat and put tick marks next to every single comment that every person made. Then I ran out of room on this sheet, so I wrote my time down that I was at. I totaled all these up, and I converted, and I put the names again over here and put those numbers right out through here. And then I went through and made tick marks again. And that included some new people that came in at the end. And then I totaled them all up, and I got the top 5. Let's see. Good morning, Mr. Michael. Good morning, Starship Hunter X. There was 2 people that left one comment yesterday. Scott Bryant was one of them, and TC was the other one. They had one comment. The top 5 in order were Pete with 88, Cal with 65, Mister with 52, B Shady with 47, and Cliff with 41. And then right behind, coming in 6th place, was Miss Brown Sugar with 35. So, I got all that tallied up, and I made a wheel to spin for the giveaway winner. And let me open that wheel. Let's see. And what I did here is I didn't want to make just big blocks. I wanted to make it a little bit more exciting. So I added each person's name 5 times, and I kept them in the order that they joined the chat. So Cliff, Mr. B Shady, Pete, Cal, 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 and Cliff, Mr. B Shady, Pete, and Cal. So 5 people, 5 people, 5 entries each. Go ahead and spin this wheel and see who won the giveaway. Mr. William, you had 30. And Mr. Michael, you had 29 yesterday. I appreciate every single one. So let's go ahead and spin this and see who wins the giveaway. Good luck, everybody. Here we go. Be shady. Well, there we go. Be shady said something about doing something kind for someone. Not sure if that's still what he wants to do, but jackpots are rolling, Be shady. No, William, your chat was just as much appreciated. I picked the top 5 for episode 550, and those were the people entered. Yeah, I just said William had 30 and Michael had 29. Everybody was on the list. Everybody's names are right here. So Michael had 29 yesterday. William had 30. Waylon had 34. Brown Sugar had 35. Ill Knives had 31. Nick had 31. Mitchell had 6. Tristan had 10. Want to know why Knives had 9. Apex had 34. Mr. Robin. Mike John had 10. Dwayne Letterman and Blessed EDC. So yeah, everybody's name was on here, but I circled the top 5. I'll give you a hug, Mr. William. I give out hugs for free. All right. So last night, I decided that I would go ahead and start putting an edge on this thing. And I don't know if it'll catch the light right, but it's got a pretty mirror. What's up with the stupid light? Where's the light at? Anyway, I started putting a 17-degree edge on this. And I don't have it exactly to a sharp point, but it's real close. And I wanted to look at it on the microscope, see what it looks like. Wish you could see the mirror. A little bit of the mirror. Oh, there we go. You can see those lights in it now. Got a pretty good mirror edge on it. All right. So let's see what it looks like, because I want to know what this edge on the back side looks like. So, wow, you can still see, all right, so what does this side look like? So see, I hit this side at the 17 degrees just to knock off the edge. But it looks like I need to do a little bit more. So I haven't gotten all the way to the edge. But you can see how mirror the edge is right there. Huh. Yeah, that reflection looks pretty good right there. Yeah, I'm going to have to take a little bit more off the back here. And man, I don't know why. I wasn't looking at the edge. I wanted to see this. I still got to hit it quite a bit more. Tip looks good. The width of the edge all the way across looks good. But I'm not all the way to the edge yet. You can see the edge is still pretty thick. All right, back to where we were. But yeah, it's going to look good with that edge. And I bet this would probably cut a piece of paper. I want to try cutting a nail with it. Yeah, it's still got a pretty thick edge. But I do know one thing. It was not easy to sharpen. So it is definitely hard. That's what she said. Yeah, it's definitely hardened. And I got my drill bits in. I got my tungsten carbide hardened 1/8 inch drill bits. I went ahead and got 2 of them. So this will be the pin size that I use on this knife. I'm going to use 1/8 inch pins. Probably one up here somewhere and one down here somewhere. I might put 3. I might just put 2. And I also got some, I really needed some of this. I hadn't had any. I got some cutting oil, because I needed some. So I will be putting the pins in it at some point, but I'm going to wait till I finish sharpening the edge. How do I dead center those pins, those bits? Yeah, I'm using a drill press. And I don't know that, they'll be as close to center as I can get. Cutting fluid is your friend, though. And then I also got, I got some of that stabilized wood that's got a super cool color. Once you start sanding it, it's all different colors. I showed a picture of it. It looks way different in the picture than it does before you start sanding it because of how layered they are. But here's what it looks like once you sand it a little bit. Dang it. Act right, phone. Hold on just a second. Ah. I hate having to do stuff on the fly on my phone and then find it and then share it and then show it on the screen. All right, so right here is what they look like once you sand them a little bit. Where are we at? Discord. There we go. And that's a pixelated picture, but it's called, it was stabilized, what kind of wood was it? It was stabilized curly birch. Yeah, stabilized curly birch wood. And they had some other colors. They had a pretty cool purple stabilized curly birch. Had that one. Then they had that one that I got. And then they had just a yellow and brown. But it'll look cool once you start sanding it and getting different colors to come through. Makes me want to throw it on the belt sander over here and see. Yeah, hold on just a second. Give me just half a second. Well, I need to change this belt. I tried to sand through it a little bit. I didn't start. I just did this half right here, but it'll start getting into those layers some point. All right. Well, I'm back. So I'm glad my half second's up. Rainbow eucalyptus. That's what I'm supposed to Google. Oh, wow. That's pretty wild. What is that? You can buy seeds? Huh. Very weird. I'm sure most of them look like these. That one is something different. Pretty cool looking though. Seedcult.com. What are we looking at here? New coin. Pretty cool coin. Mr. Goodbar. What are we talking about? Prize? Third Lynch Pry comes in today, along with the Mega Tray Thick Brass Crazy Days coin. Oh, okay. Maybe this is the coin. That looks like a Crazy Days. Pete wants the Mr. Goodbar. What is that? I think I've seen it before, but leave it up to y'all to give me links today. Mr. Goodbar. I put in the stupid NCM Co. Why is it not finding the NCM? What is NCM? NCM Co, Pete. Best case scenarios. Bearded Ant was having a garage sale. Rainbow under the outer bark. Mute audio. I've got the audio muted always. Oh, Nice Guy Machine Co. I don't know what I. Yeah, those are pretty cool. I like the crunch too. Yeah, that's super cool. I should have known that was Nice Guy Machine Company. I'm not following them though, so. Uh, that's pretty funny. Oh, we forgot to check out a couple of new videos on Tough Knives, or at least one. I did upload it to the Febbox link. I just don't find that many things on a daily basis that I need to pry. Which version you got, Sever? There's a bunch of them. I guess I could probably find it. Ah, why don't you come up? Oh, there we go. See which version. Uh, I don't see it in here. Yeah, which version did you get? Are you talking about the slip joint or the uh or the frame lock? Slip joint or frame lock? Oh, that's the coffin. It's called something different. So it must be the slip joint. Oh, the frame lock? So it's called the, oh, this one? Is it the XL? The grasshopper? Oh, dang it, I was getting my hopes up with the XL. It's this one. 3-inch blade. Why are you getting rid of it? Because of the funny shaped handle? Same reason I didn't buy one yet. Uh, did you say you had a one hitter, Pete? Oh yeah, I remember the one with the little channel that we followed, where it goes back and forth across the two sides. Yeah, I remember that now. That's what you're talking about, right, Pete? The one where I followed the air stream on the way it was made. Yeah, I remembered it. Good morning. Did I say good morning, Mr. Bob? I hope I did. Yeah, not my style either, Sever. I tried to say those coffin ones, I just, couldn't get past the shape. All right. Check this out. So, this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen just because of the idea behind it. So, he made a sheath for this knife that looks kind of like the knife. And he does some crazy work. And it's a fixed blade. And that's the actual sheath. And that's pretty wild. Wicked Dream Designs does a better mirror polish. No shade, though. Mr. WDD just has the mirror polish down, though. That one's got a little bit of waviness. But yeah, super cool how he made that sheath that looks like the knife. When I looked at it, I was like, what the heck's going on with that blade? And then he pulled the blade off, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm trying to see the back there. What's going on? Can you see the mirror polished blade? No, I guess that's a mirror polished piece of metal. Yeah, it is, because it didn't move when he pulled the blade out. Yeah, that's pretty wild. B Shady sent this one. Let's see the full size. Yeah, that's the dealio. It's pretty cool. Yeah, this is the one we looked at before. That's the picture that I followed. Goes end to end, there, over to there, through both sides, over to this both sides, to that big hole, and out the. But it cools it down constantly. It's pretty cool. Yeah, William, that's what I said yesterday when you said it was rubbing your blade. I was like, what the heck? These are notorious for needing a little bit of Loctite, though. I don't guess everybody is like me when it goes to knives, but every time that I carry a knife, I grab the blade and check it and see if the blade moves. Because I need to know that. Cliff, it's a pipe. It's like a little bowl. Michael, I think you're a few minutes behind. Um, he's just now seeing that knife, I think. Princess Buttercup. Aha. Whoa, hold on. That's pretty cool. All right, next link I didn't have many links today. But what about this new mole sect? I like it. I bet it's comfortable. And if he prices it like he has been the other ones, it'll be a great value too. And it looks great closed. It looks super good closed. And I like the two matching grooves on it, finger grooves. The clip, I don't know about. Looks pretty good. Wait, I thought it sat. Oh, yeah, it's not sitting down in there. I was seeing the shadow. Oh, my goodness. Molsec. If he prices this the same as the ones he's been selling. Can't believe I did it again. That clip looks pretty sweet, actually. Looks like I'm gonna be front flipper only, so if you don't like front flippers, you won't like that knife. um, yeah, I liked Oliver Tree too. Hey, do y'all want to know something weird that a lot of people don't know? And I don't really feel like I'm teaching you anything, but it's just something people don't really think about. So, do you know that crash landing a helicopter is way safer and easier than crash landing a plane? Um, and there's a concept behind it that most people don't understand about helicopters. I always thought if you went up in a helicopter, you were doomed. There was no way to crash land one. But there's a principle about helicopters that's really cool that not everybody knows. I'm sure a lot of you do. But when you have, since they have the ability to switch the pitch on the blades, what happens is they can drop and they can have their blades angled to where it just starts spinning super fast. So the down pressure from the air just starts spinning the blade super fast. All right? And it gets it up to speed like real fast as you're dropping, because they have the blades tilted the way that's going with the wind, and it's making it spin faster and faster. And then about 100 yards or whatever before they hit the ground, they can reverse the pitch of the blades, and that same spin that has been building up speed the whole time will provide them enough lift to set the helicopter down. And it's controlled lift, like they have enough of the blade spinning fast enough that they can change the pitch, and then it gives them a little bit of lift and they can just set it right down. And not me. Most people think when you're going down in a helicopter and the blade's spinning that you're doomed, but at the last second they can pitch the blades up and then it just sits you down. I mean, it's not I don't want to do it every day, but they have to learn how to do it. And it's a pretty weird thing to think about. Uh, yeah, I think I'm going to have to hold off on more of those Kizers because I don't like the way they're building them. They're all going to be 5 to 6 ounces, and they don't feel. I don't know. um, yeah, the Winter Blade drop, Winter Blade Fusion. That's a pretty cool overall pattern. I like the I like the action too. Only part I don't like is how they have to cut out the blade at the top because of the mechanism, lock mechanism. Same as like a 80-10, 80-10, 80-20 or 20.5. I don't like when the blade stops like that. but it is what it is with those type knives. The other one I am looking forward to, I might try out the Kizer, the is it the Militol White Mountain Knives exclusives. I don't know what I'm talking about. They had some more. They had another one coming out at the end of the year. Yeah, they got a bunch coming out, huh? Coming in August, the Beg Lighter 2.9. Coming in August, the Kizer Devo Mash. The T1. Could have sworn they had one more. Yeah, where's the other one? Yeah, I like that Mystic lock. Good morning, Robin. I don't think Kizer's friends with anybody. So I got an I'm not telling you from Lemifshi. When I asked him, I mentioned to y'all that he told me he was rushing something into production after I showed him a picture of my Nirvana Integral. This is totally off topic. Well, I mean, it's all knife related. But when I sent him a message telling him I got a Lemifshi, I asked him what he was making next. And I said, "What new knife are you dropping next?" And I showed him that I got one of his Nirvana Integral big ones. And I said, "I picked up one of these last week." And his response was, "The new model is currently being rushed into production and will be available in a while. Thank you." So I think he's talking about the new model of that one. So they're rushing a new Nirvana Integral. So I asked him, I said, "The full-size Nirvana Integral or the Asylum from Skiff Made Blades?" And he said, "I'm sorry, but I can't disclose that information. I hope you understand, as we have other partners as well. Thank you." So evidently he's collaborating with somebody on that. And then I said right here, I said, "You sent me this the last time and now you can't tell me anything?" And he said, "This model is already in production. Thank you." So I sent him the picture of the skiff and he said, "That one's already in production." But evidently he's working with somebody on that Nirvana. It's probably somebody like Winter Pudding. What made me think of that is when he said Kizer and Concept were friends, and I was thinking about these cloners being friends. I also had a message from one of those guys on AliExpress that sells knives that thinks he knows everything. And then once you teach him something and you're not a stupid, like, once they realize you're not a stupid knife buyer from China that just logged on to AliExpress, doesn't know nothing about knives, he changed his tune and tried to act like he knows everything. I kept asking this guy about the cheap version of the Anthem. So they make an Anthem that is not an integral, it's two pieces. And it looks exactly the same on the inside. It's got the coil spring, but it's made out of two pieces. And you can see the seam on the back of this picture. Maybe you can't because it's washed out. But yeah, there's a seam where they connect. And so I told this guy, and I was telling him that there was a one-piece model, and then he goes, one-piece molding? This style doesn't seem to be available at the moment. And I was like, yes, it is. And he goes, for integrated molding, our country currently does not have such molds. So he's telling me that his country doesn't have molds, like he knows all about the entire knife game. And I sent him a link to the Anthem from Overcome. And then he changed his tune. This kind of thing will be very difficult. I hate these kind of guys. And then he goes, I'll check with our other manufacturers. And I told him how much they cost. They're $170. So he goes, I also work in this factory and I know that all the products they make are. So he's trying to tell me he knows every knife that's made in China. And then he tries to tell me what it would cost, $120 to $200 after I told him $170. He's one of those guys that's like, I don't know. There's some weird knife guys in China that think that just U.S. people are stupid. And they act like they know every single knife maker in China. And it's pretty annoying at times. Yeah, Michael. Bees Blades is an official Kizer rep, I believe. I think Waylon said that. You can buy anything on Whatnot. Whatnot's like it's like an online flea market. Yeah, it's like an online flea market. What about this guy? How does this strike y'all? Does this guy seem like he'd be great, real fun to be around? I mean, what a weird post. This guy said non-religious alternatives to UltiClip. And like, I didn't know anything about the fact that UltiClip is related to religion. I just thought it was a clip. And so this guy, it's so tore up about it. Not trying to start anything or throw shade. The company can obviously do what they want. I personally just don't want to proselytize or support proselytizing for beliefs I don't share. Well, I mean, I guess they've been vocal about their opinions, kind of like Chick-fil-A or something. Like, you know, Chick-fil-A is not open on Sunday. So some people talk about how they hate Chick-fil-A. But I don't even know how you bring in, like, really? It means that much to you? I don't know what companies' beliefs are, though, Robin. Like, do you make it a point to find out the beliefs behind all the companies you buy stuff from? I guess, but I mean, when you're dealing with major brands, I don't even think they disclose things like that. Where they stand on what issue, or like Nabisco or something. I don't know. Or Kellogg's. I don't know. I don't know. And Ulti clips or something. I just wouldn't. I don't know. I just don't think I would get that tore up. I don't care what the guy that makes Ulti clips spends his money on. He could be the opposite kind of belief. He could be, you know, he could be in NAMBLA or something. Yeah, Walmart. I try not to support Walmart too much. Have y'all seen that movie, that documentary about Walmart and how basically it's about them going over to China and they have a whole building full of these little cubicles where they sit down across from a rep from a company and they basically tell the company what they're going to pay for the product. And if that company can't produce it for that price, they'll find one that will. And they basically strong arm all these companies into giving them prices where they're barely making a penny or losing money. Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know where religion, either side of religion, you could worship God or the devil and just keep it to yourself. And I don't know, if I buy the Ulti clip, I don't know which one he worships or if he worships none of them. Uh, yeah, there we go. It's a wild movie. They basically just strong arm. And that's why I said most of your bigger companies, you don't know where they stand on a certain aspect. I mean, I guess if I get into wanting to really support somebody in the knife world, no, I mean, I don't care. I don't know. People care way too much about other people's beliefs. Like, we used to be able to be friends with people that we didn't agree with 1,000%. Back in the day, you could have friends that had different beliefs on all kinds of topics, but when you hung out, it didn't come into play. And so it wasn't an issue, and you could just agree to disagree. Now everybody has to believe 1,000% exactly what the next person does, or that person's evil. Such a wild thing to witness in my lifetime. Y'all smash that like button. I didn't even see if there was any like comments or how many comments there were. Somebody just gave him an alternative. Okay. That's cool too. Those look pretty awesome, actually. Discreet carry concepts. Those would be good to add to your own sheaths. Yeah, I can too, Michael. Uh, yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah, I love docks too, Pete. Um, have you seen? Oh, dang. I can't even think of it now. I'll think of it here in a minute. I love documentaries, though. Documentary. Yeah, it's clearly a cross. I've seen it. I thought it was like a Celtic. I mean, it kind of reminded me of like a Celtic rune type deal. You know, like, I don't know. I didn't just instantly assume it was a Christian cross, to tell you the truth. I just assumed that it was some kind of different font. Maybe I'm stupid, but I think that kind of shows. It kind of shows that I don't care. Like, I don't care enough to figure that out. Uh, I just thought it was a weird font. Whatever. They work. I could care less. Yeah, it looks like a Knights Templar. I'm cool with the Knights Templar, I guess. I don't care about that either. But yeah, I was told when I was young, you just don't discuss politics or religion with friends, and you'll be fine. You can talk about anything else, and we can have yeah, I don't know, like, how did a guy like, I don't know why that matters so much. People get way hung up on knife stuff, don't they? Be shady. Like, how could you bring that into this hobby? Come on, man. Like, we're all just here enjoying knives. Oh, that version of the Anthem is kind of like this one. It's got the split. This one's actually it's only two pieces. Yeah, there are weird. People are weird. Our society has really changed for the worst, my opinion. All right, what else are we gonna check out today? What was I? Oh, I ran across something. Let's go look at some Instagram. I'm sure I'll be inspired to think of something I wanted to look at. That's a good old knifey looking knife. The impact. I've got to get past my not wanting a knife just because it's flipper only, or I'm going to be limited on a bunch of pretty knives. Oh goodness, we're getting some crazy. I didn't mean to scroll that way. What is that little thing? That's pretty wild too. That's a long, skinny knife like Sever 7 would like. The Arc 3 8th prototype. Has the Spyderco hole copyright ran out? Didn't we look that up one day? Yeah, Pete, I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure you could find that stuff out if you really wanted to, but I don't know. Man, I got way other things in my life that are at the top of my list before figuring out who a company donates some of their money to. And that just goes across the board pretty much. And then there's people that get home. I don't believe who I was just showing right there. I almost followed him. But yeah, that goes across the board for me. But there's people that come home, they'll buy something and come home and do all kinds of research on the beliefs of everybody associated with that company or something like. And I've got I got lots more to do. Lots more that matters. Oh, we had a Magnamax that hit like close to 66, I think, on a knife's, on Steel Hardness Lab. I think he had a Magnamax. Uh, yeah, Spyderco 65.7 Mule Team. He should. It should not be hard for him to add the photos. I get it, but man, Chavez and Spyderco and BP Customs. The deep dive. Oh, that's a fixed blade. BP Custom Knives. Knife making. I guess he does make fixed blades. All right, we're not going to watch a whole. But he made one that tested good too. Yeah, that's a beautiful knife. More and more with the round holes. uh, yeah, but we looked up something. I believe they do have a patent on it, but it does expire at a certain point. But isn't just a feature. Uh, Spyderco hole patent. Uh, all right. Here's some stats about it. So the original patent in '81, he kept for 17 years. They called the hole. It was patented as a ledge or depression in the blade that allowed the fleshy part of the thumb to push the blade open with one hand. So they called it a ledge or depression. Like they didn't even realize that the hole was like going to be a whole thing. Like they just wanted to give you a way instead of using a nail nick to open the knife, and they called it a ledge or a depression. That's pretty cool. And then since they'd done that for 17 years under patent protection, um, it allowed them to secure a trademark for the round hole. So it says while the technology function patent has expired, the trademark remains as long as Spyderco continues to use it as an opening device and actively defends it. Um, and that's so funny, man, that all you have to do is make it an oval or teardrop or a pill shape. And it says as long as they choose to fight it. As long as they actively defend it. Uh, which has got to come to a point. Do people, I mean, it's kind of a jerk move. It's like, I don't know. I think it would naturally happen regardless of whether Spyderco did it or not. I think if you were drawing knife designs and opening methods, so at some point a round hole would end up in your blade. Uh, that's just me. That's that's a cool image of all the painter and designs. KB. Man, I would love to have a portfolio like that. Yeah, yeah, I knew that you could license it or you could make a small batch. We just talked about that the other day. One of the guys that I added on here talked about the fact that he licensed the whole. I got to get me some titanium dice, Mr. B. Shady. I still really like this guy's knives. He might have been, no, he wasn't the guy, but Maybe it was. No, I don't know. We would have seen it. But man, that knife looks comfortable too. I like a lot of his stuff. Sean O'Connell. He makes a cool range of stuff. That's pretty cool seeing the different layouts for the. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Pete. Like at some point, a circle's going to end up in your knife. It's already got one for the pivot, and people put them in handles all the time. So a blade would have got a circle from lots of different people, whether Spyderco did it or not. Look at that little thing, mister. It's called the Owl Axe. You need to get you one of those. Straight from Russia. That's a kindling maker's dream, isn't it? The Owl Axe. Forged at 1200 degrees Celsius. Wow. Where's the little one? Owl. How are you going to link me over to your page and not have a link to where what I'm actually looking at? Hello, my friend. My name is Vitaly. What is a racing axe? This guy does his axes. All right. I got you, but I still don't see that one. That's pretty funny. Little chode. Mammoth molar? I guess yeah, you're talking mammoth molar. All right, back to where we were. What else we got? Those thumb studs kill me. I don't think I can buy another knife with those 6-leaf thumb studs. I don't care what it looks like. As soon as I see the studs, I stop looking. I tried to take apart my Encosi and fix it last night, and I cannot figure out for the life of me what's wrong with that thing. It's big enough I could put bearings in it. The knife absolutely baffled me. The pivot is too wide. That Lex in black crystal tie is pretty sick, though. Why does it zoom up? So weird. Hey, Pete, I got a Python script I need you to figure out how to run. It's called YT. It's called YT. YT Chat Downloader. And it's at this site, PyPy. Right here's the program. It runs in Python. You can download it from that place, and you can type in a video URL, and it'll download the live chat replay for any video that you put in. All you have to do, I just don't feel like messing with it today. So all you got to do is type that command in to any live video, and it'll download the chat in either Excel or JSON format. So you can tell it how to download. Anyway, all you got to do is type pip install YouTube chat downloader in Python. I just don't feel like messing with it today. But check it out for me if you don't care. If you got time today, I'll get around to it if you don't. Yes, you don't have to have the API key. You don't have to log in with the API key for the chat. All you do is put the video in, and it'll export it to Excel format or a JSON file. Good morning, Gonzo. Because if you go to my YouTube page and you go to my live and you go to yesterday's stream, the live chat pops up in the right. And once you add, so they make an extension, and it's called Chat Stacker or something. But it only allows you to download 50 comments. There's one called like Chat Stacker, Comment Stacker. Comment Stacker, maybe? I looked it up last night. Save YouTube live chat. Comment stack. So it's called Comment Stack, and you can add it to Chrome, and it'll do the same thing. It uses that script, and it pops up a little box up here that lets you download it, but it only does 50 comments at a time. Unless you pay for it. Save the chats as CSV or Excel file. It got a 2.9 because of the fact you got to pay for it to get more than 50 comments. All right, back to where we were. Anything else y'all want to check out today? Yeah, Gonzo, I nerded out for a minute. My bad. I'm back on knives. Oh, that's one of those, that feels like you're really doing something. That feels like you're you're in a helicopter and you're arming your missile. What in the heck? Is he pushing in on the... Oh, he's pushing down on it. Now I remember. I looked at one. You flip it up and push down on it. Then you close it. Oh, Gonzo, it's all good. Yeah, we try to learn something on here. I don't feel successful unless I've learned something. There's some more of those AI videos. What about the new animal life AI videos that people are falling for? There was one with a dog and some ducks. Since we're talking about weird things, this video right here is, I mean, one of the most AI animal videos I've ever seen, and people fall for this stuff, and they're getting pretty good. But watch this video and tell me if you think it's real. Pretty funny. I mean, it's a sweet video. But watch how much this duck picks up this dog completely. I mean, yeah, AI is starting to make some cool, especially VHS quality, like this. So there's lots of people in the world that think, oh my God, did you see what that dog did? First of all, the little duckling is not going to jump on the mouth of another creature at birth. Secondly, this duck couldn't pick up this whole dog off the ground with no help from the dog. But anyway, those AI videos are getting pretty wild. And there's lots of people, especially older people, that'd be like, my God. I mean, it's one of the cutest, but that whole section, there's a whole stream on Instagram of those videos. There's tons of them where a cat fights off a monkey attacking something. There's some more of those crazy knives with that thumb stud. That thumb stud kills it for me every time. I can't look at the rest of the knife now after seeing those thumb studs. I get weird sometimes on my knives, but we all like what we like. This is the man with the plan with the composite. He's the composite man. That Alutex is pretty dang cool though. Oh yeah, and speaking of swimming pools of water, have you seen the latest AI ones where these people supposedly are putting a pool on their balcony And they're making it seem like these people fall off their balcony, and there's tons of them. They're coming out everywhere. This is the latest like fad, and nothing about the person's reaction is like it would actually be if this were to happen. But there's a ton of these videos popping up all over the place. I guess somebody, and there's more than just this one. There's a bunch of them now. I saw 2 or 3 in the same day for some reason. Yeah, you can make it you can export it into something other than a JSON file, or you can take that JSON file and break it down into all the different whatever they're called. I think you can output it. I don't know. I'll talk to you later about it. But I was looking up yeah, so it saves it in this form right here. But you can make he tells you how to, I read it somewhere. Yeah, and it's even got active live streams, continuous polling mode. But this is the format it. Yeah, it tells you it gets a lot of info. Pretty cool. Well, thank you, Pete. You can make it, parse it, and put it in a table. Yeah, you just type pip, and then yeah, it tells you at the top. But you could go through and tell me how many. You could sort it. You could import that into Excel and then sort it by username and tell me how many chat comments, how far off I was on the comment count. Because I counted all those comments by hand and I might have missed one or two. But you could import it into a table and then sort by user ID or whatever the field is. Yeah, I don't use a RFID blocker. I've got one. My wallet has one, but I don't ever think about it. People can walk by you. I don't do a bunch of traveling, though. If I was in the airport a lot and walking past people a lot in a very close proximity, I might care more about it. But nobody gets close enough to my wallet for me to worry about it. I know how far NFC works. NFC does not have a very far range. You can boost it, but my wallet has those weird little, it has a SIM card. It has a SIM card place. You know what I'm talking about? I just meant the range that a reader can read. But yeah, mine's got the little SIM card thing in my wallet. What about the flipper? I would have fun with one of those. I would get in trouble with a flipper zero. Yep, I would end up in jail with one of those. That's why I haven't bought one yet. But that's pretty wild. And if y'all want to see some cool videos, check out guys using their flipper zeros on YouTube. And with the right enhancements, shall I say, you can do some pretty wild stuff. Pretty wild. But these little things, they make antennas, like they make all kinds of custom add-ons for these things. Well, I'm surprised I didn't get one years ago. They got the craziest stuff now, though. NFC range extender, IR blaster. They got crazy stuff. Flux capacitor. The coolest thing, the Wi-Fi spoofing and all that. You can get all kinds of, yeah. I don't need a flipper zero. I'll get big trouble. All right. Well, we've been going for long enough today, just about. The flipper zero, there you go. Let's see. Here's a beginner guide. Let's see if he tells anything good about it.
Here's the ultimate badass beginner guide that won't only make you a menace to society, but will give you the best experience possible, you plebeian. Once you take it out the box, you're going to need a micro SD card, preferably more than 32 gigabytes. This is where you'll download all your scripts, aka your attacks. Secondly, you're going to need firmware for the flipper. There's a ton of firmware out there, but I would recommend getting Momentum, since it's super user friendly, and a friend told me it even adds a few inches to your height, so there's that. And don't worry, you don't have to be some computer wizard to download this, since all you do is connect the flipper to your computer and the web updater does everything for you. So easy, my grandpa could probably do it. Now let's get into the fun stuff. There's a massive library of like tools, tutorials, modules, everything you could possibly need in this one GitHub page. And the best part, it's free. For example, a couple months ago, back when my friend crashed out, when I took down his Wi-Fi for more than 2 hours with my flipper, his Apple TV couldn't reconnect. But because this dude lost his remote, I downloaded the entire Apple TV remote on my flipper. Then use it to reconnect the Apple TV to the Wi-Fi. Not gonna lie, I felt kind of badass. And I know all this stuff's confusing at first, but I really hope this helps. So,
basically, it allows you to scan and find anything wireless. And a lot of times it allows you to control anything wireless. It's a crazy hacker tool, but it's not hard to use. And Linus will tell you about it.
One of the most versatile hacking tools to ever hit the market. And if you've been on TikTok in the last 6 months, there's a good chance you've seen people using it to change gas station signs, set off department store PA systems, and open up Tesla charging ports. It's been deemed so...
Yeah, so you can do all kinds of stuff. Yeah, we're not going to watch this, but that was you can change signs at the...
to change gas station signs, set off department store PA systems, and open up Tesla charging ports.
And you can also, you can use them to steal cars too. So you can scan the key fob, you can clone a key fob and push to start cars, you can steal them. M390 at 62.3 on a Remet. That's good to see. What is the Remet Aligo though? All right. So that M390 got what? 62.3. That's not bad. Yep, IoT. Yep. And I'm giving away a Tesla next giveaway. Just got to get my Flipper Zero. No telling what you'll learn on Mornings with Chip. If it interests me, we might talk about it. We'll always get back to knives, though. Stacy O'Day. Who is that? I'm going to follow him because I think I should. I think it's a friend. I'll have to check that out later, Pete. But I appreciate your work, buddy. Oh, yeah, we got the Tough Knives. We didn't watch the last couple of episodes. So it was after this one. We watched that one, but we hadn't watched these last ones, I don't think. Maybe we have. If so, we'll watch them again.
This video, I'm not going to grind on camera, but I'm going to show you where I am here. So I first did the 50 grit. Now I'm moving on to 80. As you can see, this side there is you have the even plunge here. You basically want to stare at this plunge here, make sure it's even on both sides. and then you know where to put more pressure on this side or this side. You can see there's an angle going up and then swooping. This one is more flat and then swooping. So what I'm doing is I'm putting more pressure when I'm pushing here and then swooping, whereas this side is just less pressure and I'm swooping. There's no better way to put it than swooping here. So that is what I'm talking about with feel, because when I do on this side, I tend to grind softer here and then harder here. And on this side, I tend to grind harder here, then I work my way softer here. So I have to adjust as I'm doing it. So pushing in more in an upward kind of way, making sure there's like a gap between the belt and the flat here, this flat area. So you can see the slight gap. That means that I'm pushing this line up further. Now, if you do it too much, you're going to end up all the way at the top. You want to have this nice flat area. I like to keep that nice flat area there. But to keep it even on both sides takes a lot of practice. So yeah, just kind of pointing that out real quick. You see the difference. It's almost a straight angle up. And this one's more up and then flat and then up. It's, you know, there's less of an angle here and more of an angle here. More of a slicer grind here, more of a regular grind here. So I kind of want to even this one out to look more like this one. Because when I get to the higher grits, my pressure changes, things change. I become more, like, I'm more comfortable here on this side.
Yeah, hands.
When I'm first. All right, guys. So I guess I'm going to do videos, a ton of videos on this. So right now is where I take the clamp off at 180. I did a couple passes with 180. I can keep it on there and keep going with it, but when I have any weird inconsistencies, I like to take it off and start doing freehand to fix some stuff. And that's all done with experience and pressure and feel and speeds and whatever. So right now we got a nice grind on this side, and on this side we got some weird stuff going on. We got a weird cut up right here. It's a little lower than the other side. So what I find is when I want to fix this side to match this side, I take it out of here, and then instead of going like this, I will switch to this and have the belt go down the grind, if that makes any sense. So basically be going this way instead. And so that basically takes this side that's a little bit messed up, and I bring it over to this side so I can put the pressure that I would put.
This is all pro stuff.
Correct. Now, all right, so I just showed you that video. Hopefully I can put these two videos together so you can see quickly. So this side was messed up. Now it's more even along with this side. So this still has a nice line this way. This one's starting to get that nice line that way. And like I said, I just reverse the grind, so I'm grinding the belt downward instead of the downward from the edge up. I'm going from the spine down. And the pressure that switching the side gives me the ability to mimic the pressure from this side's grind to this side's grind now. So it's starting to even it out. So there's weird inconsistencies in my right hand. And
that's why I'm going to use a jig.
The left hand. It's hard to explain, but it's just these weird.
Because I couldn't imagine trying to get it matched up.
All right, so I'm on to the Trizac belt. These are great for.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm on to the Trizac belt. These are great for basically taking the grind lines out, kind of smoothing them out without much effort. So this is what we're left with here. It's pretty damn even on both sides. The grind is nice and even on that plunge. So the plunge will be where the the sharpening notch is. So that'll go away. As you can see, it's a little thinner here than here. So I'll go back and edit that a little bit. A little thicker up by the tip. So I'll basically just do some passes where I have more pressure in a downward way, and then kind of, that might create an extra little line here, but I'll just have to blend that together as I go. But as of now, she's looking good, and from here on, it's basically finishing belts to, basically make these lines more even and as small as possible. Make sure there's no real deep gouges in here in the beginning. There's usually gouges right here from the 50 grit. There may be some up at the top here, except when you do it in. That is your.
All right.
So
we're caught up now. Well, all right, everyone. It is Tuesday. Hope y'all have a great day. I should be getting all the other stuff in today to finish up this knife. Wow, quality control on these is not the greatest. These are way thinner. The one on the right is way thinner than the one on the left. I mean, noticeably thinner. That is not an even cut there, buddy. Anyway, appreciate y'all joining me this morning. I should get the pins in today. I'll finish putting the grind on tonight and get it sharpened up. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with this backside. And then I'm getting my anvil in, I think today too, so I can straighten this thing out finally. I didn't want to trust anything that wasn't flat and metal, and I wanted a reason to buy an anvil. So I've got to take a little bit of a curve out of this one. Not much. It just doesn't sit flat. And it has to sit flat for my grinding jig to do the blade grind on this. But I'm going to use my jig to get this grind done. And then I'm going to flip it over and do this side. And then I'll start worrying about this swedge. And then we'll heat treat it. And I'll straighten that one, and then I'll start finishing this one. But I can't work on too many at one time. But now I got pins for everything. I got the tools I needed. The anvil will help with this one. I'm buying some new handle material here and there, so I'll get with you, Mr. B. Shady, about the giveaway. Congratulations again. Dan Stan, good morning, by the way. I didn't see you pop in, sir. Anyway, appreciate y'all. Thank you for joining me. On to the next 50. We'll be pushing that 600 mark before we know it. That's a crazy lot of days in a row. Thank y'all for joining me every morning for that many days in a row. I think Sever joined the first week I started. Been here ever since. The same with Mr. Knives Our Life. I think he's been around for a long time, because I remember one of my first video calls, he actually talked to me and called me sir. And that was cool. Yes, Mr. Bob, mad love to you too, sir. Gonzo, have a good one. Cliff, have a good one. Waylon, Dwayne, Pete, I'll hit you up about that script. Mr. Christopher, Mr. Mitchell, Miss Brown Sugar. Thank you too, ma'am. Mr. Mike John. I think I said Mr. Gonzo, and I mentioned Mr. Dan Stan. Sever, of course. Mr. Michael. Mr. William. Mr. Robin. Thank you, sir. Mr. Paul lurking in the background. Appreciate the support, buddy. Too bad you don't chat with us more. You could have got entered in that giveaway.